Hey guys, I am Yellow Mist, and today I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions on the Nintendo Switch 2. And before we start today's video, I want to clarify these are for privacy. They're not for looks, they're for privacy, so no one can use my face. They're for privacy. And I'm not gonna point out names. I'm not gonna say who did it. All I'm gonna say is, can you kindly remove your profile picture and your YouTube banner and change it to something else? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, can you please change it, because you did not get consent from me. Anyway, enough about that and on to the video. Now, I have played the Nintendo Switch 2, and I have been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't done it lately, but I have. And here's some pros. The pros are the load times are good, and the Joy-Cons, they're a vast improvement over the Switch 1. And not trying to be rude about the company and such, which that's not what this is about. But here's some cons. The con is the device is not balanced in price, and the games are not balanced in price, although that I didn't really buy any Switch 2 games, but the console and the game prices are not balanced in price. No offense to the company, though. And the load times are good, the gameplay is good, and yeah, for of right now, this month, and this date, the only games you have are Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World. So, if you haven't finished any of your original Switch games, then I would recommend playing those on the Switch 2. And yeah, it's just very convenient for this thing where you just pop it off. And it sticks on like that. Pop this off. And pop it on. Easy. And for a comparison, you have the Switch 1, and you have the Switch 2. which this isn't the best example, but believe me, this thing is much smaller than this thing. Look at this. Look at this. This. Get my point now? And yeah, the Switch 2 is a improvement over the original Switch. And another downside I did not mention is if you're setting the Switch 2 up, do not breeze through the setup process, because that's what I did, and I had to factory reset it. And I had to port over all my games during the factory reset. So, one thing you need to do before finishing up your Switch 2 setup process, if you plan on getting a Switch 2, do not skip over the setup process. Do not, because you will not be able to set up the Nintendo Switch 2 for porting over your original Switch games. If you say, alright, I have my Switch set up, now I'm gonna port over my original Switch games, and you say, oh wait, why isn't this working? That's because you skipped over the Switch 1 port over process. You need to port over your games while you're setting up your Switch 2. You cannot skip over that. You need to do it, because you will not be able to do it after. So, when you get your Switch, set it up, and when it says transport your games over from Switch 1 to 2, do not skip over that feature. Anyway, guys, I have been Yellow Lantern Batman, and this has been my thoughts and opinions on the Switch 2. And my verdict is I would have that be in the eye of the beholder. So, if you think the Switch 2 is too pricey, then I would skip out on it. But if you want the Switch 2, then I would go ahead. Then I would go ahead and say, save up your money for the games. But if you're like, the Switch 2 is too expensive, then just don't get it. But if you do, I would say save up your money for the games. And wait for Pokemon Legends ZA to come out in October, I believe. Anyway, I have been Yellow Mist, and this has been my thoughts and opinions on the Nintendo Switch 2. And I will see you in the next video or stream next time there's an upload. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next upload I do. Bye, guys.